Our next guest is going to help us get a pulse on the state of the consumer around the world and maybe weigh in on some of the other big geopolitical issues, that and AI and labor. Uber CEO Dara Khosrowshahi is here. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So I don't know if you heard us sort of debating what's going on. You missed that piece? Yeah. We were debating a little bit of some of the reaction to this NATO deal, Trump and Denmark. But we've been talking about just what CEOs are thinking about here in Davos and about the sort of reaction to the relationship between the U.S. and Europe and elsewhere. I'd mentioned Mark Carney. I'm curious, what are you hearing? What are you thinking?
Well, obviously, all the CEOs here want the relationship between the U.S. and Europe to be as it's been historically, which are trusted allies working together for one cause, headed in one direction. We've been through some issues, but I do think that especially as of yesterday, the president's speech, there was a get-together with some CEOs, and now the direction of travel now, it really looks like things are aligning again. And I think the good news for us, Andrew, is that we are a business that's just hyper-local, right? It's about the New York City resident getting a New York Uber. All of the flows, the capital flows, et cetera, are local. So as long as global economies and local economies are strong, our business continues to be strong, and that's true right now. The consumer is feeling good. They're spending on travel. They're spending, moving places. They're going out, and also they're ordering food, which is terrific.
And part of the question, though, is there are a number of U.S. CEOs, by the way, who have business in Europe.
Yes.
That fear that the breakdown in that relationship could ultimately impact their businesses, either as a function of regulation, as by the way, in terms of tariffs on them, something coming back that way. Yeah. Do you have any fear at all that either European countries or others are thinking about you in any way differently than they were a week ago?
No, not specifically. And again, I think what's different about Uber is how local we are. We've got over 9 million drivers and couriers on our platform, and they are locals. You'll remember with Canada, for example, at some point Canadians were very upset with the U.S., and there were some U.S. companies. I called some of my friends, and U.S. companies, some brands were suffering, but we weren't, because the Uber driver is Canadian. And so while Uber is a global brand, we're a big global system, the business being done is a local business, and the monies not just stay in the country, but they even stay in the city in which you're operating.
Even when
now we want everyone to get along, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't affect our businesses directly as maybe it affects other businesses.
When Lutnick said globalism is dead, and he got heckled, and there's pushback. There's globalism and there's local globalism. Our companies are still going to operate around the globe. It's just supply chains are changing, and some of the relationships that I was making a point that we've been defending Europe and subsidizing their welfare state for years and years, and to have someone come along and finally say, look, this is unacceptable, and we're going to want to have our way on some of these other issues if we're going to continue to do this. I think eventually the Europeans are going to be dragged kicking and screaming into what the world is going to look like at that point.
And listen, Europe has been responsive in terms of defense spending. It's not like Europe is sitting on its hands.
In the last few years.
Right. So
exactly.
I do think that it's Europe is being responsive.
But they needed some tough love 3 or 4 years
I don't know
ago.
if they need tough love, but these things take time, right? I'm constantly frustrated with how long things take at Uber, right? If something's not done in a month, I go nuts. And I think when you're talking about countries, when you're talking about societies, these big societal changes and changes in how you've run a global system for 40 years.
Yeah.
If you want to shift over, you can't do it overnight. I think that the direction of travel is a constructive direction, even though it may be painful in some parts.
Denmark, they're apparently upset. I don't know if they're going to start hitchhiking. I don't know if they're going to take an American Uber at this point. Are you?
It's not an American Uber. It's a local driver, and that's the whole point.
Thank God.
State of the consumer, and we can maybe go around the world.
Yeah,
what are you actually seeing right now? In terms of strength, weakness, challenges?
Strength. So right now things look great. In our last quarter, for example, we announced transaction growth 22%. For a company of our size, right, we're doing 38 million trips a day. For a company of our size and scale to grow 22% shows that the consumer remains strong. Now, employment is not as strong as I would have thought within kind of the consumer spend category, because everything we see in terms of consumer spend, whether it's on restaurants, whether it's on travel, whether it's on commute, et cetera, it looks really strong. The employment market is not as strong as we would like. To some extent, that's okay for us, because it means we have a lot of drivers coming onto the platform. We have a lot of couriers coming onto the platform. That's the one area where I worry about is the strength of the employment market.
The employment market. And do you think that AI is having an impact on the employment market?
I think it's very early, and I have to believe that it does. You know, I think if you look at technology companies, for example, we all went through a period of, it's like grow at any cost, add, you know, the more employees you add, the better. Then the market forced discipline on some tech companies, and I think that was a good thing, you know, and we listened, and I think we acted appropriately. And we've seen two things. One is, well, productivity growth is a great way to grow. We don't need all these people. And now with the advent of AI, we are seeing productivity increases all across the board. Right. And when we talk to our legal team and we have an AI that's doing markups of contracts, et cetera, you know, Tony West, my GC, ain't coming to me and saying, I need more lawyers in-house.